It's a good day to be on my back porch, but a bad day to be a beer. What's up, everybody? We're here for the first episode of Acoustic in the Cave. My name is Ben Ragsdale. I decided to start this a couple of months ago, and I'm basically going to be inviting some of my friends from the local area to come on and play songs they've written. We'll be playing some stuff you know and some stuff you don't. But for the first episode, I decided to bring on my good friend, Mr. Trey Gallman.
Hey, what's up, Bubba?
He's coming in from...
I love how he prefaces that off the jump, like, where am I coming in from?
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with him, so...
So as of now, I've slowed down a bit. You know, your boy got engaged.
Ski.
So, yeah. I'm living in Canton, Mississippi, which is just north of Jackson now. That's the home base for me and my fiance, Hayden. And, I just got back home because all hunting season, you know, I started guiding this year and operational manager for an outfit out of Southern Illinois, the Soggy Bottom Boys Outfitters. In constant sorrow all through his days. That's actually how they came up with the name, true story. But, I mean, you know, just finished that. Now I'm about to hit the road, play some music. You called me up to do this, and I'm excited to be here. I'm glad of what you got going. And in between doing all that, I'm still trying to do the songwriter thing, be the star of a musician in Nashville and write some songs and do the thing when I can, you know?
Yeah. Well, I went to Nashville for the very first time 2 summers ago with Mr. Trey. I was a rookie at everything, and Trey brought me along.
But we were both rookies, man. Yeah. Man, we were both rookies. It's one of them things, it's like you fake it till you make it. And I had been doing it for a while, and then you came up to town and was like, man, I want to write. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't know nothing, but I think I could show you what I don't know.
And for everyone who doesn't know, up in Nashville, they schedule their writes. I always wrote when I thought of something.
We always wrote when you drank enough.
Right, exactly.
When you drank enough or at the end of the night, that's when, man, I got something on my heart. That's when we would write.
So these guys, all the professionals up in Nashville, they just schedule their writes, and I don't know if they hope they come up with something by then or they get in a room with a bunch of guys who do it all the time and they just spit out.
I mean, that's pretty much how it was.
Right.
That's pretty much what it was.
So we schedule a write with these 2 other guys, Mr. Parker LeBlanc and Dawson Slade.
Yep.
And we go in there and start writing this song, and we're sitting there and trying to come up with an idea. And I had never done this before, so I kind of raised my hand a little bit. I'm like, what about, I have a song and it's not good, but I think there's a good idea within the song. I just need help on the other part. We start talking about it, and we ended up coming up with this one.
Wait, hold on. What song are you going to play first? Which one?
I'm going to play No Way in Hell.
Hold on. You missed the best part of the story. Before you play the song, the best part of the whole story was the night before. You had never been out on Broadway before.
Yeah, that's true.
You were 18, 19 years old. I'm showing you around. We go out on Broadway, and we knew we had these writes the next day. And you're like, hey, man, we need to go to bed. We got a big day tomorrow. I'm like, trust me, we write better songs when we're hungover. And you're like, okay, let's go. So we're using fake IDs, getting you in the bar. And you said at the end of the night, like, this has to be a preface. You said, man, there's no way in hell heaven can be this fun. That's what you said.
Yeah.
And that's what we ran with. Is it not?
Yeah, no, that's true. That is a true story.
God, I love this song.
We used lines from a song I'd written before that was really bad, but that is how we got the title.
But them lines were heaters.
Yep, and we wrote this song. Doesn't have an official title yet, but it's probably going to be No Way in Hell. It'll be the next song I put out, and it goes like this. John Denver wasn't wrong when he said to take me home. I've had enough of these snowy streets, so show me a country road that I can drive on all night long. That'll take me back to to that little town where you can hear the sound of Charlie's fiddle when the devil came down. Heard a lot of people talk about the nowhere place they wish they were from, 'cause they know there's no way in hell heaven can be this fun. Where the time rolls slow down the winding roads, and the memories made of worth their weight in gold. Saturday sinners turn to Sunday saints with amazing grace from the man above. I hope like hell heaven can be this fun. When my time comes, I'm down to go. Maybe he can meet me in a honey hole. I've got a plan with a few cold cans and an extra line to throw. I'm sure those pearly gates are great, but Lord, they're gonna have to wait. Where the time rolls slow down the winding roads, and the memories made of worth their weight in gold. Saturday sinners turn to Sunday saints with amazing grace from the man above. I hope like hell heaven can be this fun. Anywhere else, it might not make sense. The only way you know is if it's somewhere that you've been. To each their own, so don't be throwing no stones. 'Cause of me, I see heaven in. Where the time rolls slow down them winding roads, and the memories made of worth their weight in gold. Saturday sinners turn to Sunday saints with amazing grace from the man above. I hope like hell, oh, there ain't no way in hell heaven can be this fun. John Denver wasn't wrong when he said to take me home.
God, I love that song, dude. Yeah, I love that song. Yes, sir.
That was No Way in Hell. Probably the first time you've ever heard it, but yeah, we wrote that one up in Nashville. I forgot about the what is that, the Red Door?
Yeah,
That's
we went to
where we
Red
were?
Door. Yeah, we were Red Door. Shout out Red Door.
That was
Gotta
when
love Midtown.
ask if you have any grenades or bombs or whatever.
Yeah, they
walking
sure
in.
do. Yeah, dude, when you walk in the door, Ben was. So we walk up to the door, like we're going in the bar, and the bouncer goes, "Hey, brother, any handguns, pocket knives, grenades?" And I said, "Nah, man, not this evening."
I left my grenades.
I said, "Nah, man, I left my grenades at the house this evening." And Ben looked at me like, "What the? Are you for real?" I'm like, "Nah, yeah, it's everybody." And then, yeah, so it was your first time. Like, you 100%, we did our best. Me and Parker and Caleb Mills and all the boys. Dawson,
Shout
we did
out
our
Caleb
best.
Mills one time.
100%. We did our best to absolutely baptize you the first night because we're like, hey.
And where we go eat after?
Where did we go?
Mid-City Meat Missile.
Oh, we did get a Midtown Meat Missile.
Midtown
Meat Missile. Yeah, I didn't. It was either Midtown Meat Missile or Cookout.
No, it
you
was
either go to Cookout.
A hot dog about that big.
Yeah, you go to the hot dog stand. Yeah, the hot dog stand right outside the door. We call it Midtown Meat Missile.
You want onions?
I don't know
you want
where
onions
that
or
came from.
not?
Yeah. You want onion? No onion. Onion? No onion. I got onions. Ben's up like, I'll just take a hot dog with mustard on it. I'm like, I want peppers. Give me the jalapenos, the bell peppers, the onions. Ben got his bag. It was just looked like a Sonic cone. I got mine back. Mine looked like
first night in a new town. You can never trust. You can't trust the onions in a new town. But
you know what? I probably shouldn't have trusted the onions.
Yeah,
it wasn't my first night, so we went with them.
So speaking of originals, word on the street is you got a new album coming out.
I do, brother. I do. Whenever you came, that was 2 years ago?
Yeah. It'll be 2 years and 3 months. 4 months, whatever this summer is.
So, yeah, this new album's been in the works for almost 2 years.
Yep.
Wow.
We talked about it squirrel hunting last year, so that was at least a year ago it's been.
You're right, because we didn't. Wow. We did all of our pre-production talk, and we did all of our stuff, and talking about how we're going to try and put this show together and what it's going to be like and what you're trying to create, which I'm such a super fan of what we're doing and what you're creating. And we never once put a timeline on it until it just hit me just now.
Where have you been recording at?
So,
what state, what city?
I know what you mean. I'm just, hold on, because I need a second to really, I didn't
I'll
realize.
give him just a second.
Yeah, this album's been in the works for 2 years. It really has. It's been, and that makes me proud. I've done 14 songs over, in May it'll be 8 years that we've been playing music, and we put out 14 original songs, and I didn't realize till just now that it's been 2 years we've been working on it.
I was in fifth grade when you started playing.
Are you for real?
I don't know.
No, don't.
Well, I was 12. How old
man,
were you?
I thought you was 13 going on 30.
Right.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, no, I was probably in sixth grade when you started playing music, so.
Probably. I didn't even think about it. You're what? Yeah, 7, 8 years younger than me? Yeah.
If I need to hold the door so you can get your walker out.
Easy. Hold on. You're definitely going to have some older dudes on this show. Chill out. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about it. Yeah, it's been almost 2 years we've been working on this album, and so we went down to, it was one of those God things. I had been shopping for a producer. I hadn't found anybody that I wanted to do my first full-length project with, and out of the blue, I got a DM on Instagram for a guy named Mr. Dan Hannon, who did all of Aaron Shoe's stuff. He did a lot of, pretty much all the Christian music that we grew up on, he produced. Yeah. I had no idea about it. No one knows who the producer is. You have to do your research, right? He's won a handful of Dove Awards, numerous Dove Awards, which is the equivalent of, a Grammy.
Right.
And it was just a God thing for him to reach out and be like, man, I love your sound. If you're looking to record an album, I would love to do some work together. And that was April of last year. So we've been recording it. We finally finished it. I'm getting masters back as we speak. I'm finally getting the masters for the project. So it's been a year of working on the album in the studio. But I went down to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, to Ivy Manor Studio. Shout out to those guys. They're incredible. To, Mr. Dan Hannon, Gary Nichols, Clint Ingersoll, Big Mike in the house. Those guys, and Jared Prisbus, can't miss Jared. But those 5 guys, what they have going down over there in Muscle Shoals, it's everything you want in modern music, but everything that is the past of what is Muscle Shoals and where the Legends recorded. So that was really special to be a part of that. And like I said, it was a God thing, very much so. And me being a man of faith, it was something special. And now that, dude, I know I'm like on a tangent. Thank you. I'm sorry for like going longer than you want me to go, but like I did not think about it until just now that it's been 2 years of working on this album. Yeah. And that feels pretty special.
Yeah. All right. You want to play one off of it?
Yeah, I will. All right. So, yeah, I've been talking enough. I feel like I have to preface this song, too. Since we're on the God thing, I have to preface it.
Go for it.
So this song right here, my album was finished. My album was done. I had 12 songs on it. I was very happy with what I had. And I was finishing recording my album. I was on the way to Southern Illinois with Soggy Bottom to start the hunting season to start guiding. And a friend of mine, Steve Thomas, who I wrote this song with, he called me on the drive, and he's like, man, I have this, and he said, you got to know Steve. But he's like, man, don't say nothing, listen to me. Lord, I hope that you don't mind I wore these boots to church, and I know that I'm running late, but I just got off of work. That's what he said. And on my 6-hour drive from where I was in Mississippi to the lodge, we wrote this song over phone, over a phone conversation, not with a guitar, not in a room, not in the way that you've done it, exactly. 100% in a phone conversation. And I showed up at the lodge and started playing that song around the campfire every night. And keep in mind, the album was done, everything was finished.
Right.
And we sat down, and I was playing around the campfire, and the owner of the lodge, A.H. Marshall, like a brother to me, he said, hey, man, is that song on your album? And I said, no, it's not. I ran out of money. That's just what it is. I ran out of money. And he's like, find out how much it is. I will stroke the check for you to go put that on the album. I was like, I don't know if it fits the album. I don't know if it fits the song, the sound, the thing. I don't know. And he's like, put it on the album. And as soon as we recorded it and put it on the album and spoke it into existence, it became so much more real for me and my life and where I am in my life currently. And I think you'll understand that listening to the song. But it was just, I didn't even have a title for the album. And when we recorded this song, then it was like, that's it. That was the missing piece. So the album now, this is the title track of the album. It's called Man to Man. Lord, I hope that you don't mind. I wore these boots to church. And I know that I'm running late. I just got out of work. It's been too long since these callous hands have reached out for your word and pushed aside my stubborn pride when my knees could hit the dirt. And I know this blue collar, it ain't my Sunday best. I ain't got time for creases, 'cause I'm the one hard pressed. The wolves are howling at my door, and I've done all that I can. Lord, I'm asking for just a little more of what made me who I am. I need to be a shoulder, but I can't hardly stand. Between me and you and this church pew, can you help this family man to man? 'Cause there's a stack of bills on the table, and they're all overdue. We've been starving on this dream of ours, now she's eating for two. Lord, I'm asking for just a little grace for the ones at home that still have faith in a Superman that's breaking. God, if you hear me praying, 'cause the wolves are howling at my door, and I've done all that I can. Lord, I'm asking for just a little more of what made me who I am. I need to be a shoulder, but I can't hardly stand. Between me and you and this church pew, can you help this family man to man? Oh, man to man. I know I've got some nerve asking more from you. Maybe I don't deserve it, but God, my babies do. 'Cause the wolves are howling at my door, and I've done all that I can. Lord, I'm asking for just a little more of what made me who go.
Fantastic.
Thank you, bud.
You brought up a good point before you talked about it, before you started playing the song that I thought was interesting to everybody listening. Because I thought about writing a little bit different. You can write an entire song off of one line. You get one line and you write an entire song just based off of that and not. I feel like most people think you write it off of an idea, but you write one line that rhymes and you can write an entire song off of it, which I think is important to know.
Yeah, it's called the hook. That's the thing, right? As long as you can paint the picture with family man. I hope you keep this man to man, family man. It was the hook. It was the premise. It was the. You can have a really great hook idea, and if you can't nail it, if you can't bring it home, then you failed the song.
Right.
And I'm a big believer in the song already exists. You just have to grab the song. Yeah. Right. So if you have a really great line, then you can grab it and you can run it.
Right. I just think it's interesting because most people, I feel like, think that you write, people who aren't in music feel like you write a song off of an idea and not off of a line that pops into your head that you end up writing an entire song off of.
Well, it goes both ways, right?
Right.
I mean, there's sometimes you just have a guitar part that you write off of.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the thing with songwriting. It's not just a single idea. It's not just a single line. It's not it might be a guitar part that just makes you feel a certain type of way. Yeah. And when you have to grab it. When you grab that thing that is already there, then you become the vessel for that thing. Yeah. Like with you saying, you know, there's no way in hell heaven can be this fun. Yeah. That was us walking down the streets of Nashville.
Parker said, write that day. He pulled out his phone and wrote it down in his notes, and we wrote it the next day.
That's what we're writing tomorrow.
Exactly.
Because we're going to make that what it's supposed to be. Yeah. So that song, we created that song off of the idea. Right. It's not like you just have to tell a story and there it is. You know, sometimes you have the idea and you have to make it your own.
Yeah. So we talked about our Nashville trip me and Trey took together.
Well,
a little bit, not about all of it, but yeah, we had planned it. I think we had planned it like a week or two before, so we had a bunch of stuff going on, and I remember we met up at Fred's on the river you were playing Gentry's event, and that was the day before we left.
Sure was.
And I met up with Trey. And he was like, hey, dude, I forgot. We're leaving. I know we're leaving tomorrow, but we got a gig at Le Chien.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot about that.
For brunch.
Yeah.
And we were.
That's right. So I did the Fred's on the River thing for Gentry. Rest in peace to my little brother. We did that on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you and I were supposed to leave first thing Sunday morning. And I completely forgot. Yeah. I'm sorry, Kim, when Kim was working at Le Chien Brewery in Denham Springs. She had booked us for a Sunday show, and I had completely forgot about it. And so you came, and you're like, hey, man, I'm excited to leave. First thing in the morning, 8 a.m., we're rolling out, right?
Oh,
and I said, actually, pause. I'm glad you're here. My voice is shot. We have to play a brunch at Le Chien in Denham from 10 to 1 tomorrow. We gotta play a show. And you're like, wait, for real? I'm like, yes, that put us in Nashville about 9 o'clock. But don't worry, because on Sunday and Monday, that's when all the industry people are off. So the party doesn't kick off till about 9 o'clock. So when we get rolling into town, that's when the party's gonna get going. So don't worry. And that was the same night as the whole Keep Me Up at Night. That was Or so, that was the that was the night of when you said there's no way in hell heaven can be this fun.
Yeah, that was the same night, but we get to Le Chien.
That's right.
And I had always played where I had my phone hooked up, right? Because I can't remember 3 hours of songs, you know. And
you get there,
and we set up our 2 mic stands and start sound checking. He's like, "All right, you ready?" I was like, "I don't have anywhere. I would like." What you mean, am I ready? What are we playing? Just whatever. Like, just whatever you feel like. I'm like, okay. So I started doing the math. It's 3 hours. We're splitting the time. I only have to play an hour and a half of songs that I know. We get about 45 minutes of the way through it, and I'm like, I'm out. All right. I'm out. I don't know what else. I was like, I wrote this song like last week, and it's almost done. It's done enough to play, but it's not perfect. Trey's like, just play it. I don't care. Just play it. Let's go. I'm like, all right.
Dude,
and,
100%. I forgot about that. That is how that started.
Yeah.
And originally, was the John Denver line in that song?
No, it was in another song I had written that was bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It was a song about $8 Bucks or something. There was
Right.
something about $8
And you were
bucks.
like, yeah, we're cutting that line. I was like, all right.
I was like, you were like, hey, like in between songs.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm going to sing this. He sings it for the crowd, and the crowd's like, all right, good. Like doing the brunch applause on a Sunday. I'm hungover as hell. He's starting to catch a buzz. We're trying to shake back and get back in the game. Like, I'm just like, hey, Ben, I need you to. What he doesn't know at the time is that I was telling Ben, brother, just play your music, promote your music, do your thing. But really what I was saying is, hey, dog, I'm throwing you a lifeline, save my ass. Is what I was saying because I was in bad shape. So, dude, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You played the,
And it was like
two.
It was two verses and a chorus.
Yeah, you played the first one, and I was like, you were like, you leaned over, was like, hey, what do you think about that one? I was like, I'll be honest with you, brother. The song sucks, but some of those lines were badass.
That was a Charlie Daniels fiddle coming
John
down.
Denver
Yeah.
wasn't on when he said, take me home. I've had enough of these city streets. So show me a country road that I can drive on all night long that'll take me back to. And I was like, oh, shit, spit bars. Spit bars. That's it. But, yeah, I do remember that.
So I played this song, and Trey was like, he was probably lying. He was like, it's really good, but there's some stuff we can work on. So
hey, but what did we do? You played it, and the first thing Monday morning, as soon as
we wrote a bunch of it driving straight. Yeah,
straight to Nashville. We drove 8 hours from Lachine straight to Nashville.
Yep.
We spent the night at my house, and the next morning we got up, and I said, okay, that song that you played yesterday, that's what we're writing.
Yeah,
because that's badass.
And I think we either wrote it. We must have written it Tuesday, the day after we slept in Nashville. The next day we wrote that, and I think we wrote the John Denver song.
Yeah, we wrote it
later
the same day.
Yeah, we wrote it later that day.
Yep, sure did.
With Parker and Dawson. So this is a Ben Ragsdale, Trey Gallman official song. The only song we've ever written together by just us.
Just us two.
So it's called Keeps Me Up at Night. It was the last song I put out. It's on Spotify, Apple Music. It's everywhere. This one's called Keeps Me Up at Night. It ain't the monsters hiding under the bed. It ain't the nightmares, crazy thoughts running through my head. I'm not scared of the thunder rumbling outside my door. I don't fear the creaking that old hardwood floor. Another mile on a no-name county road, but I chose to live this life. And everybody knows that's what keeps me up at night. A sold-out crowd under those neon lights. The feeling when I walk on stage and everybody knows my name, and they're singing along to every word I write. That's a dream that keeps me up at night. People tell me I'm crazy to ever want to live that way. You can't stay out all night and then sleep away the day. They don't understand me, so I gotta prove them wrong. Do right by my family with my guitar and a song. It's the way I sound to them on the radio. They hear that we're coming and everybody shows. That's what keeps me up at night. A sold out crowd under those neon lights. The feeling when I walk on stage and everybody knows my name. They're singing along to every word I write. That's a dream that keeps me up at night. That's a dream that keeps me up at night. Keeps me up at night. A sold out crowd under those neon lights. The feeling when I walk on stage and y'all all know my name. You're singing along to every word I write. That's a dream that keeps me up at night. That's a dream that keeps me up at night. It ain't the monsters hiding under the bed. It ain't the nightmares, crazy thoughts running through my head.
God, dude, I love that song so much. I love that song so much because it's so raw. It's so raw and it's so real, and it's like one of the things that we clicked on from the beginning, and we were just talking about it a minute ago, off camera, was that like I do my. Not that by any means am I a role model or whatever to you, but like I look at you like I look at you like a little brother. I really do. And when you came with that idea that day and we wrote that song, it was so raw and so real that like that song still makes me a little bit emotional to be like. It reminded me. I've been on my soapbox the whole time. I'm sorry, but.
Stay on it.
I'm feeling a certain type of way. Like I feel really good in this space. I really feel good. I feel good about what you're creating. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of this. I'm excited to be here. I'm happy for all of this. And dude, like that song, I needed that song so much when we wrote it. I've never told you this. I've never said this before, but I needed that song so bad when we wrote it because I was going through so much on my own.
Yeah. That
I needed to be reminded why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I needed to be reminded why I'm still doing this.
Yeah. Why
I'm still chasing this pipe, chasing that neon rainbow, living that honky tonk dream. I needed a why, and you gave it to me when we wrote that song. And I'm serious. I'm not.
Yeah.
This isn't no fugazi on camera. This is 100% serious, like brother to brother talking. Like, thank you for letting me be a part of that song because that meant a lot to me. My dog.
My dog.
For sure. Cheers to that. Uh-oh. I need a beer. Beer me, Blazer. Kirkland DeLon coming in clutch with the cold beer. Bush. What's old boy say? Bush.
I saw one of those commercials today. Old
Did
Man
you?
in the Woods.
Hey, look, I'm going to put it in this koozie right here. If you don't have one, you need to zoom in close. Ben Ragsdale Band. Like, I'm really jealous of the koozies that he has. I want some merch like this. It's a bad day to be it says a beer, but I need to say a bush.
Bad day to be a bush.
These are jam up. You can get them anywhere that you listen to Ben Ragsdale music. Go to Ben Ragsdale. Is it Ben Ragsdale Band.com?
No, it's just Ben Ragsdale music.
Just Ben Ragsdale music.
Yeah.
No big deal. Come watch him play. We're playing the Jambalaya Festival.
We are.
Doing
Me
that.
and Trey. Trey's playing Friday night. He's
Yeah.
headlining. What time you start? 8?
Yeah, we're gonna start at 8:30.
8:30.
8:30. We
They
got
moved it to Lamar Dixon this year.
Dude, I'm so
Finally.
excited for that. I'm so excited for that. Like,
Yeah.
Because for how many years it's been in Gonzales, and
Yeah.
everybody's been fussing about no parking, it's
No
too
air
hot,
conditioner.
no
Yep.
air conditioner, it's this, it's that.
No
it's blah, blah, blah.
excuses this year, people.
No excuses.
Y'all be sure to come out. Trey's playing. He's headlining Friday night, 8:30 to 11. 8:30 to
8:30 to 11. Yeah.
8:30 to 11. Y'all be sure to come check him out. Me and my fellas will be taking the stage Saturday night at 8 o'clock, opening for Easton Corbin.
My dog, I'm proud of you.
It's going to be a good weekend for local music, one of the best of the year. That's Memorial Day weekend. We got a bunch of local guys. We got Adam Leger from Lafayette coming over. We got Trey Gallman from D-Town.
Yeah, who you
Friday
with?
night.
Yeah.
We
You
got Thomas Kane Saturday. We got me Saturday. It's going to be a great weekend.
And then on the other stage, we got all the Cornet boys.
4A.
4A Tradition's going to jam. Chris LeBlanc, my brother, who I love like no other.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, who can't love Chris?
You
right?
can't.
Gotta love Chris. They're all playing on the... Cause
I got this
Jambalaya Fest
guitar
is
because
always
of
got-
Chris. I played his
Did
D30.
you really?
Yep, I played his D35 one time. I told my dad, I said, I don't care what happens. I need one just like that.
See, this is my point. See, Ben's over here playing a D35. First of all, I never had the chance to play Chris's D35. As a matter of fact, Chris has never let me touch one of Chris's guitars. Now that you bring that up,
Yeah, well-
I'm thinking about it. Chris has never let me touch one of Chris's guitars. I do not have a D35. I'm over here playing a $50 pawn shop guitar. Shout out Bubba Pelletier for this one.
Shout out Bubba.
Hey, but she sounds pretty though. I mean, for $50, I'll take the deal all day long. I ain't mad.
Bubba was there when we recorded Keeps Me Up at Night. He was at Mr. Bryan's studio
Was
that
he?
night. Yeah.
He's in there. He hadn't hemmed you up about writing yet, dude. Mr. Bubba's an incredible writer.
He is. That's why he was there. He had come to talk to Brian about recording one of the songs he wrote. So
We wrote "Take Me Back," Colorado Coronas, Louisiana Way. That's not all of them. I know it's not only 3.
And how you know Bubba?
So Jacob Pelletier, Bubba's son Jacob has been my lead guitar player since day one. Well, I say since day one. Day one for me was actually May 17th. So what's today? What is today?
March.
April,
Not even the. Do you know what year it is? What year is it?
I don't know.
25.
2025. Yeah, I'm
It's
old.
March 7th.
March
Say
7th.
it's
So
March 7th.
May 17th of this year will be 8 years that I've been playing live music. The first show that I ever played was at the Hangout in Marpaw. I did it by myself. Well, I say by myself. It was me and my dad. We did it together. Me and my dad played. And after the show, Jacob Pelletier came up and I said, we've been friends forever. And Jacob was like, man, what do you think? I asked Jacob, actually. I said, Jacob, what do you think? Like, how was the set? And Jacob was like, do not ever get on stage without me again. You're a terrible guitar player. So, almost 8 years later, here we are.
Yep.
Me and Jacob have been together from the jump, and Bubba's the one that pushed me to go to Nashville. Bubba had some songs that he had written, and he said, hey, I want you to go sing some demos. You know, that's what I want you to do. And I said, well, if you want me to go to Nashville and sing demos, then I want to record some of the songs that I wrote.
Right.
So that was in 2019. So we started in 2017. 2019 was the first time we ever went to Nashville. So everything up to this point, I have to give credit to Bubba Pelletier. He's been like a second dad to me. He's been a mentor musically, and I love him to death. I really do. He's a great man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, for real.
So this new album, you're going to play some more of it? I've only heard a couple of songs off of it, and I feel like that's some secret squirrel things. I feel like you have it pretty...
Yeah, man,
I've heard a couple of them live, a couple...
I'll play you some more on the Turtle Box after this. But yeah, man, I've kept it very tight-lipped because this project is different than anything I've ever done. Because for years, I always wanted to be... Like, we started off as a cover band doing, like... a lot of the same stuff that y'all were doing,
yeah.
Right? And then we recorded our own music the same way you recorded your own music. And
right.
we did that thing, and I felt like I had to be the party. I had to do all the things, like just spell out party, and we were in it. We were doing it. And then we I told you about Dan, and we went to Muscle Shoals, and we started recording this album, and we got 6 songs into recording this album, and halfway through the album, we realized, like, this isn't, I realized I was learning more. Like, Gary Nichols, who's won a Grammy as a Steel Drivers lead singer, he's teaching me, the first thing he told me, he said, son, you're a Ferrari in second gear. We're going to teach you how to shift out of it. And I didn't know what that meant, but I do now, in that my music style is not what it used to be. So I grew. I'm forever thankful for those guys at Ivy Manor because they taught me who I wanted to be musically.
Right.
So with all that being said, we went back. I drove back to Nashville. We're halfway through the album. We took a break. I drove back to Nashville, and I realized that, yes, I've always been party country. I've always been rowdy. I've always been all these things, like Co-Wetzel, Hardy,
yeah.
whatever. That was always who I was. That's what I wanted to do. And
yeah.
then all of a sudden I realized that maybe that's not, yes, I love that music,
yeah.
but that's not what I want to be known as. So we walked in the writer's room one day, and once again, a God thing. Every song on this 13-song album was a God thing in some way, shape, or form. But we walked in the writer's room that day, and Parker LeBlanc was playing on the piano. Legend, right?
Shout out Parker one more time.
Yeah, playing on the piano, dude. He was doing it. He''s like, man, I couldn't sleep last night. I knew we were writing today, and I just had this weird thing. And he's on the piano. He's going, dun 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 dun. And we just started freestyling, and it was, God, there was a handful of us in the room. It was me, Parker, Steve Thomas. I think Cole Snellgrove was on the song. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there was somebody else. God, I feel terrible. There was somebody else on the song, but I realized in that moment, I had just left Muscle Shoals and realized that I wanted to do more soul music, not rock and roll. Like, I love Southern rock, but I want to do more soulful stuff.
Right.
So we went in and we freestyled just the oh, where's that? There it is. And I can't play it as good as Parker did on the piano, but it was. And in that moment, I just felt the pocket, and we just let it go. This song's called Send Me an Angel, and we just were feeling it, just stank face, just, yeah, that's what it is. And it all makes sense because with the album, getting long-winded again, but with the album, we were halfway through the album, and like I said, the album now is titled Man to Man, and this song was just as much as Man to Man. It was kind of a transformational thing for me. Yeah. The first half of the album is what I used to be, and then we wrote this song, and I directly correlate this song with speaking into existence my fiance and meeting her, and the song's called Send Me an Angel, and kind of, God, show me what you want me to do, what I'm supposed to do. If I'm supposed to do this music thing, how am I supposed to do it right? And that's why this song means so much to me. But anyway,
let's hear it.
I'm tied between where I'm at and where I wanna be. I've already seen behind 1 and 2, so open door number 3. It ain't simple being in the middle, man, between a giving and a taking hand. I got 1 foot on each side of the line that I've drawn in the sand. Lord, send me an angel. Don't ever let her fly away. Lord, send me an angel. Let her lead me to the pearly gates. If you answer one thing, then God, hear this broken-hearted prayer that I pray. Lord, send me an angel to meet me on my way. 'Cause this bar stool ain't that different from a church pew. Both God's saints and sinners always passing through, looking for something new. So step up to the altar for another shot of 90 proof. Lord, hear my plea. Can you send someone to save me? 'Cause only a halo can lift up these broken and torn down wayward wings. Lord, send me an angel. I won't ever let her fly away. Lord, send me an angel. Let her lead me to the pearly gates. If you answer one thing, and God hear this broken-hearted prayer that I pray. Lord, send me an angel to meet me on my way. Lord, send me an angel. I won't ever let her fly away. Lord, send me an angel. Let her lead me to the pearly gates. If you answer one thing, then God hear this broken-hearted prayer that I pray. Lord, send me an angel to meet me on my way. Let her lead me on my way.
You definitely got sent an angel. God bless you, Hayden, for having to put up with this, dude.
Yeah, no joke. Hey, babe.
All right, we're to the fan favorite segment of the show. I like to call songs we wish we had written. I'm going to start off with one of the most well-written songs that I've heard in a long time. It's by Mr. Riley Green. It's called Jesus Saves.
Bangers only.
There was a man I used to pass on my way into town. He was covered in dirt like the world had beat him down. I often wondered how he'd ended up like that. So one day driving home, I pulled over to ask. I said, man, where did it all go wrong? He said, man, do you really want to know? My daddy left for another woman, moved off to L.A. My mama fought hard against that cancer. She died when I was 8. I finished school, my country shipped me off to war. When I came home, my whole world didn't love me anymore. It's hard to see all that when you're driving by. So I just write down Jesus saves, 'cause there ain't no way I could fit that on the side. Took him to a diner, I bought him a cup of coffee. He asked me if he could bum a couple dollars off me. He told me his story, I told mine. He said thanks, 'cause most folks around here would never take the time. He said, I lost my job down at the mill when that factory closed. Army stopped sending me them checks. The bank took everything I owned. Hitchhiked my way up to Chicago. Them nights were too damn cold. I hopped a train headed west, 'cause I had nowhere else to go. It's hard to see all that driving by. So I just write down Jesus saves, 'cause there ain't no way I could fit that on a sign. I probably would have wrote down a little more if I could have found a bigger piece of cardboard. My brother Walter was my hero, but he was bad to drink. One night he laid his Harley down near that Ohio riverbank. Me and my ex-wife tried for kids when we were dating. Hell, we even had baby names picked out. Little Walter didn't make it. It's hard to see all that driving by. So I just write down Jesus saves, 'cause there ain't no way I could fit that on a sign. Ain't no way to fit that on a sign.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you did that song justice, bro. You did that song justice. You had me in my feels wishing that I had wrote it too. Daggone.
He wrote that song by himself too, which I think is crazy. I think you have to go to a completely different. You have to take everything you've ever known and go lock yourself in a dark room and write that by yourself.
You know, yeah. And I mean, right now he's the number one writer in Nashville. I mean, he just. What's the other song that he just put out? The love song. When she comes home tonight.
Yeah, that and Worst Way is one of the top songs on country radio. I want
Worst
you.
Way. That's the one. Worst Way.
Yeah.
That one. He wrote that one by himself. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, he wrote that. I mean, he's on a roll right now. Man's going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, before we finish, I mean,
we got one more song.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for having me, for real.
Thank you for coming on. This is the first episode, like I mentioned earlier, so.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. I've enjoyed it. I was just sitting around. While you were singing, I was looking around the room, and I was like, man, Riley would love to play in this room. Like, I'm looking at that massive gobbler over there, them big old spurs. Looking at all these studs up here.
Some
you
studs
see some
up
of these
on the
big
wall.
studs back here. Donkeys, boy. They should shmulies. This has been very cool. Thank you so much for having me. I don't know if you saw, I mentioned it before, but like you sent me a picture, you sent me a Snapchat, like talking about what we were going to do tonight and this, that, and other. And I was rocking the goatee. I was too nervous to clean shave like you clean shave. But when you sent me the mustache, I'm like, might as well. So right before this, I trimmed. I didn't go bald. I just put the guard on and I trimmed. I went mustache. I went mustache too. I figured two redheads, we might as well rock for mustache. So
if you can see it out there.
Yeah, it's hard to see for us redhead folk if we put our head up in the light.
I've only grown this one out for like a year, I think. So.
About a year?
Yeah.
I'm 29. I think this one's going on 29 years. I don't know. No, not really. Dude, you did that so much justice. Like, I don't even know if I can follow that.
No, you got this.
So you said that we had, so let me make this straight. So this is a fan, like, a song we wish we wrote, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So for me, I think this is what I'm going to do.
I want to know a song you heard that you were like, right when you heard it, you were like, how did I not think of that?
So most people probably have never heard this song. This song, it's called "I've Learned a Lot" by Amos Lee. And I know this song because, shout out to another guy that's like a second father to me, Travis Thrift. He played this song when I was a kid, and he's the man that taught my dad how to play guitar. They went to high school together.
Yeah.
And we go to Georgia every year, and we play a music festival every year called the Van Zantville Fest on Buck Van Zant's property. We do it every year, and Travis played this song, and it's always stuck with me, and I had never learned it until recently. I went back and watched one of those old videos, and then it all came together with all my other music and was like, man, it never clicked with me back then because it wasn't what I loved, but it's what I love now. And it's an older song. I don't even know when it came out. Probably 10 years ago for all I know, but God, I love this song. It's called "I Learned a Lot." Hey baby, it's all gravy. We all do what we gotta do. Hey darling, I'm broken hearted. I've been crying, but my crying's through. Yes, I learned a lot. I've really learned a lot. Broken down on the bedroom floor. Yes, I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. I hope you found what you were looking for. I spent a lot of time staring at the ceiling. I spent a lot of time talking to walls. I spent a lot of time chasing that old time feeling. Spent a lot of time waiting on your calls. Yes, I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. Broken down on the bedroom floor. Yes, I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. I hope you found what you were looking for. Oh, and darling, the sun has been falling like some dust on that Midwestern plain. Oh, and darling, instead of running, I think it might be time you sit down and deal with the pain. Late at night, I sit and listen to the freeway, rolling like a river on a distant shore. Nobody said that living was easy, but I ain't living in fear anymore. 'Cause I've learned a lot. I've really learned a lot. Broken down on a bedroom floor. Yes, I learned a lot. Oh, I've really learned a lot. I hope you found what you were looking for. Yes, I hope you found what you were looking for. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the very first episode of Acoustic in the Cave. We got my buddy Trey Gallman. Shout out Mockler Beverage.
Yeah.
Shout out Backroads Apparel.
Bush.
Shout out Tinsaw. Thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all be sure to check us out next time.
You bet.